This is Jay Martin.
What's up, guys? Jay Martin here, investor and host of the Jay Martin Show. I'm back with Bill Frayne, the president and CEO of Liberty Defense. Bill, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you too, Jay.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting a catch up because you came on the show a few months ago. As my audience knows, I invested in Liberty a couple of years ago and wanted to keep my audience up to speed with your developments. And it was maybe like 4 or 5 months ago that we had you on and you introduced the Hexwave technology, what Liberty Defense is all about, why, and I shared why I'm excited about it. There's convalescence of some macro trends that are creating a demand for better, more enhanced, expeditious security. And that's what Liberty is building. So it's nice when the macro meets the micro. And that's what I think Liberty is right now. For anybody who didn't watch that first interview though, or if they're not familiar with Liberty, could you give us the 30,000 foot overview?
Yeah, sure. So Liberty Defense, so we're a multi-technology security and detection company. And our main product, which I kind of introduced the last time, which is called the Hexwave, it's really our flagship. And it's a walkthrough on-person screening portal. And the goal is to detect metallic and non-metallic threats on the body, anything that shouldn't be there. And so we've made significant progress over the last 6 months. And the last time that we talked to you, we've built up the best in industry engineering team. But more importantly, the hardware is configured now on the Hexwave. So really what we're doing is we're just doing some data collection and some trialing. So it's really built off, kind of radio frequency and real-time 3D video rate imaging using AI. So it's a smart technology, and we've come a long way over the last several months to the point where we're getting ready to do some beta and some demonstrations.
Okay, now talk to me about the technology in practice, because what I would say is that we're moving towards more security, more checkpoints, more surveillance. Now, the internet's not going to love that. As an investor, it doesn't matter to me. I'm looking for opportunities and angles. And as we continue to go that direction, what we're going to need is more expeditious solutions. So we're not always waiting in line. We're not always being held up by these protocols. So talk to me about the Hexwave in practice and how it solves some of this problem.
Yeah. So first and foremost, the Hexwave is based on detection. Right. So again, we're looking for any type of anomaly or threat, and we're doing it at high throughput rates. So up to 1,000 people per hour. And whether that's at a stadium or at a school, at an airport location. So, we're doing that very effectively, with that high throughput capability. And there's no privacy issues. There's no safety concerns. It can be used indoors and outdoors. As a matter of fact, we just got our FCC waiver, which is a big deal here in the States. So we can utilize the technology for those applications and we can start deploying it. So, again, focused on detection. And I say that because, you won't alarm, right? If the more detection you have, the lower false alarm rates you have, the less time you have to go through the machine again. You don't have to divest with the Hexwave. So you can keep your wallet, your keys, your cell phone in your pocket. You can keep your coat on. So, to your point, it's all about processing people, the ease and convenience of doing that. And that's what the Hexwave provides. On top of all that, we have significant detection capability above those metal detectors that are out there today.
Yeah, those are the two uniques that really strike me, is the throughput and the diversity of objects that can be identified. So just to put this in context, you said 1,000 people per hour. Let's say, Hexwave has been placed at a public elementary school, right? High throughput area at the doors there. We want to keep our kids safe. What's the current standard of throughput with most of the technology that's available today?
Well, again, it depends on, how the ConOps is, but it's probably, anywhere from 200 to 500 people per hour today. And again, you don't have to divest. So you take into those things for, when you consider you can keep everything on you. You don't have to take things out. You don't have to put it on a tray. If you alarm, you don't have to go back through the system again. So all of that, really the real-time throughput is less than half of what the Hexwave would provide at an elementary school or someplace that might have, metal detection capabilities in place.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like a 2 to 5x.
Yes, exactly.
Roughly there. Okay.
Yeah.
So where are we at with the technology today? I know we've got some beta customers testing the product, including an MLB team, including Toronto Pearson Airport, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's right. And just, take a step back, and I mentioned we've made some progress. So we really had, the hardware configurations done for beta. So, we had a group of investors here in our Boston office to be able to, demonstrate the technology and how it works and compare it to, metal detection. And that was very successful. We had the TSA in here. We've had other potential customers in here over the last month, just to kind of show the capabilities of the system. And so that's all leading to us developing the algorithm right now and teaching the AI what to look for. And just, I can give you an example. Like this is, RDX. It's a simulant of, an explosive. This is, in powder form, would not be detected. Powder, okay. Yeah. PVC piping, that can make up a pipe bomb. These are things that wouldn't normally be picked up. We're training our system today via, software and algorithm, how to pick up these types of devices, shapes, size, and makeup of those. So we're going to be doing that over the next several months. And then we'll be in our beta in the summertime. So in that August timeframe, like you mentioned, Toronto Pearson Airport, we're working with Maryland Stadium Authority for the Baltimore Orioles. There's a temple that's in the Georgia area that we'll be going to, and also University of Wisconsin. Plus, we're looking at a couple of other school applications, like a public elementary school and some casinos and others that would be beta opportunities for us. So we'll be in beta in the summer. And then right after that, we'll look to have commercialization done by the end of the year or early in 2023.
Okay. Now, can you share a little bit on the AI training process and how Hexwave determines what anomalies to pay attention to?
Yeah, sure. So the technology is based on radio frequency, which again is safe. We're at 6 to 10.6 gigahertz. And again, we're taking reflection off the body, but more importantly, we're taking real-time 3D video rate imaging. So every time a person walks through, imagine you're taking snapshots constantly of a potential threat. So we're looking at any type of anomaly that's on the body. So right now we're going through the testing. We'll put something, like this plastic gun. We'll put it on all different body types, shapes, sizes. We'll put the threats all over, and that really trains the algorithm and the AI what to depict. And that's how we're able to do this automatically and to alert the operator, without having to review an image or anything. We're going to automatically tell the operator that there's a threat.
Okay. Now I want to understand the timeline to commercialization a little bit better. And so right now we're refining the AI, right? Making sure the tech is as competent as can be. The next step is beta testing this summer. Correct. A couple high volume, high profile clients are participating in this. What do you hope to learn from the beta testing? What is your goal this summer in order to get to 2023 commercialization?
Well, you learn a lot just based on having real people walk through the system, what it is detecting, maybe what it's not detecting, the ConOps, the throughput capability. So really we'll get that real life data just to understand the performance. And we may have a customer like, the Major League Baseball team or a university that might say, we're really looking for this particular type of threat and, in a specific area. Can you train the algorithm? Can you support that effort? And that's something we'd go back into the engineering team and we would do. So you learn a lot from the beta testing, and, it'll help us to kind of put through a final configuration of the system. We'll probably have some hardware tweaks, some board respins, things like that, software updates, but not significant. It's to the point where, there might be a few months that we would have to do that kind of reconfiguration of the system to apply to kind of the broad range of customers that we're looking at. And so that's how we're confident we'll be there at, the beginning of 2023.
Beginning of 2023, which is why you can look forward to true commercialization. Did you say 2023? Is that what I heard?
Yeah. So we may be able to get there by the end of this year, 2022.
Okay.
That's our goal. That's what we're pushing for.
Yeah.
But it may jump into early 2023, and that's okay.
Okay. Got it. Now I know you recently had a oversubscribed financing, so you've put some cash in the bank. Talk to me about how it's going to be spent.
Yeah, so we're going to be spending it. And first of all, we did this over the last several months, and really because we're able to demonstrate the technology, right? And we a significant market opportunity for this type of technology, and just being able to kind of show and tell that the tech was big for us to get the financing in a very difficult environment. So, and as you mentioned, it was oversubscribed, so we've kind of put a cap on it, and so we're going to use that funding to get us to commercialization. So run us through the end of the year, get us to the point where hopefully we'll be generating some cash. So, we're excited. We're focused on the engineering. We're focused on the Hexwave and the product development. And, we do have a few other technologies, the advanced imaging technology, which is an airport upgrade, and also the shoe screener. But that'll be something we're looking at kind of later on after we develop the Hexwave.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to touch on those. So to wrap up, but so what this cash does ideally is get you to a cash flowing position with the Hexwave technology. That's the goal, right?
That's the goal.
Got it. Okay. Can we touch on the shoe scanner and
Sure.
It's the AIT scanner? So what are these two? What are these two products?
Yeah. So the AIT scanner, and you're probably very familiar with I may have mentioned in past discussions, but the body scanners at the airport where you put your hands up. So there's an opportunity for us, and we've exclusively licensed the technology out of Pacific Northwest National Labs. And so we're looking to upgrade those body scanners at the airport today. And again, it's focused on improving the detection, lowering the false alarm rate, improving the imaging capability so that, in this kind of post-COVID world, we're entering into, seamless throughput capability where you don't have to pat people down, you don't have alarms, you can start processing passengers, everything. And I think you brought up at the beginning, it's about a convenience, right? Yeah. Whether you're going to a game or going to a checkpoint at the airport, it's about processing people and doing it, conveniently, seamlessly, without having to be touched.
No, you want it to be like wallpaper, right? It's going to happen. Right. Like we can debate this all day long on the internet, but this is the direction the world is moving. So what's our goal here? To be as unobtrusive as possible, right? And let us carry on with our lives like it's just the wallpaper and it's not there.
No, right. You hit on it, and that's exactly what we're looking to do. Make it seamless. And this upgrade path that we would do, you don't have to replace all the machines at the airport. So it's an in-field replacement that we have. And, that's again, it's our goal. We've got the experienced team. We have a group of engineers that have already done this and processed it from an engineering standpoint. So they're very well educated. They've done it before. So that's the AIT, and that's what we're looking to do. And that's probably a year to 18 months out. And we're coordinating well with the TSA on that capability. And the shoe screener, which you mentioned, and that as well, we've got exclusively licensed from Pacific Northwest National Lab. And that's something, talk about a convenience standpoint. If you don't have to take your shoes off at the airport, that's our goal. And actually, we're looking to integrate that right into the existing body scanners that are there today.
That is the most pleasant surprise when going through airport security, when they inform you this time, you don't have to take your shoes off, whatever it is, right? Whether it's TSA pre or whatever. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Fantastic. So look, Bill, I want to give you a minute to speak about the team. Everybody knows when I have an entrepreneur on the show, my investor style is all about the who, as in who was going to have the adventure with my cash when I write the check. And so touch on your background with L3 for me. We did this. I mentioned this at the last time we spoke, but just for anyone who's watching for the first time, and then any key players you'd like to make sure my audience knows about.
Yeah, sure. And that really is the guts of the business that we're in. It's about the people. And, when I talk about what we've done over the last 6 months, it's being able to bring on these engineers, on board, PhDs. And we brought a lot of these, folks on from their industry experts. So, myself, I've been in the security industry for 25 plus years, working for L3. Mike Lanzaro, who is our president and CTO, he was at L3 for 15 years, and he was the head of all the engineering and brought to life technologies in computed tomography, in X-ray, trace, but more importantly in the millimeter wave body scanners. And we now have brought on a group of engineers that really make up the team. And Jeff Gordon, who's our vice president of engineering, I mean, he was really one of the architects for those body scanners at the airport today. So, we brought on 4 or 5 other engineers, experts in AI, experts in radio frequency, hardware and mechanical engineering, and we're continuing to grow. Kind of go back to the funding that we just received. We're focused on the engineering effort. We're focused on getting the technology out for commercialization. And, we're focused on developing that next generation capability. We 100% have the team, probably, one of the best group of engineering team in the security industry.
Love that. Okay. Now it's great. It's nice when I have a company on, have an entrepreneur on, they can tell me what they're going to do, and then I have them back on and they did it, right? Which is to speak of our last conversation where we were getting the tech ready for beta testing. We're here now, right? And so now we can look forward to, I'd like to connect again during the summer, end of summer, and get an update on our beta clients, find out how that's, and ensure that we're on track for commercialization. Yeah,
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're confident we're going to be there. Like I said, it's just nice having the technology up, running, demonstratable, and, makes a world of difference when you can touch it and feel it and, see the operation.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Well, guys, Liberty Defense listed in Canada under SCAN, SCAN, appropriately named, and in the US, LDDFF. Bill, it's a pleasure catching up with you again, and we'll do it again in a few months.
Great. Thanks, Jay. Always appreciate it.
All right, thank you for watching this interview. Now, 3 things before I let you go. Number 1, I publish a weekly newsletter and I love writing it. I share my biggest takeaways and action items from the conversations that I have on this channel. In addition, my thoughts on current events, economic events, political events, and you can subscribe for free. Just hit the pinned comment right beneath this video, or just go to jmartin.club and you can subscribe on the website. I'd love to have you join the team. Number 2, ad revenue from this channel is donated to an organization that is super close to my heart called Zero Ceiling. Now, Zero Ceiling's mission is to end youth homelessness, and the way they do this is by giving at-risk urban youth the opportunity to relocate to beautiful wilderness areas and then provide them with supportive housing, career training, and just generally positive influences on their life. I love what they do. Check them out if you're interested. And number 3, if you prefer to listen to my content as opposed to watch it, you can find me wherever you listen to your podcasts. Just search for The Jay Martin Show. All right, thanks again.